great win. You know, it was important to get this win tonight. And as I say, it was comfortable in the end.
It's Johan Wissa who has got player of the match.
Wissa.
And he gets a hug from a member of the coaching staff, now receives his trophy. Came to Newcastle to play Champions League football for the first time. Made a brief appearance in Leverkusen. Now gets player of the match award, scored early. Involved in the second goal. It's a big hug from the performance director James Bonce next to the tunnel. Harvey Barnes is giving an interview to television on the pitch. Players have gone inside after doing their lap of honour at St James's Park. To thank the supporters for being here. They'll have more European football at St James's. At least one more time, maybe two, maybe more than that, because they're going to continue in the Champions League. They cannot be caught by any of the teams outside of the knockout phase places. It's just a question of whether they go into the top 8 and get an automatic passage to the last 16, or whether they will play in the playoff round for the rights to join the top 8 in the round of 16, and that's what will be decided next week at PSG. From PSV to PSG, Wednesday night in Paris, a reunion, and remember what happened last time, so there's history there. Newcastle United tonight, professional, comfortable victory, thoroughly enjoyable evening. A victory over PSV Eindhoven, who hadn't lost away from home in any competition since March. An 18-match away unbeaten sequence, but it's been ended by Eddie Howe's Newcastle United. Goals from Wissa and Gordon in the first half and Barnes in the second. We're going to stay with you till 10:30 tonight on BBC Radio Newcastle. Send us a message about the game. Put BBC at the start, and our WhatsApp number is 08000 321 333. Or if you want to call us, 0800 234 6565. Newcastle United 3, PSV Eindhoven 0.
Matt Bailey at breakfast.
This morning, Northeast powerlifting preacher Rachel from Gladiators at the Weekend joined us in the studio and we were chatting about the Travelator. I always watch it and think, surely you can just run up that. How hard is that in reality?
Give it a go.
Yeah.
That's what I would say. Yeah. It's like the joint hardest thing I've done, as well as childbirth. Like I would put my two births and the Travelator. I would definitely put like on par.
There you go, the Travelator officially as hard as childbirth. I'll see you tomorrow morning with all the reaction to Newcastle's game, and I'll have another smart speaker to give away.
Matt Bailey at breakfast.
Weekdays from 6. Just ask your smart speaker to play BBC Radio Newcastle.
Yes, Rays are off to gather that reaction right now, so you'll hear from Eddie Howe and a player as well on BBC Radio Newcastle tomorrow. You never know, if he's quick, we might get it on for 10:30 this evening, because we'll be staying on air to have a chat about the game. Ando staying alongside me, Simon Pride, until 10:30. So why not have your say by calling us on 0800 234 6565, or drop us a message if that's easier. 08000 321 333 on WhatsApp, 81333 on text. Start your messages with the letters BBC. We would love to hear from you. I can see they are already starting to come into the inbox. We'll get some more thoughts from Ando as well. And yeah, give us a call and we'll try and get you on air between now and 10:30. I'll tell you what's been happening elsewhere in the Champions League now, though, and we'll also just take a look in a bit more detail at that Champions League table and tell you where things stand going into the final round of fixtures. But earlier today, Galatasaray and Atletico Madrid drew 1-1. Karabag beat Frankfurt by 3-2. In the other 8 o'clock kickoffs, Atalanta 2, Athletic Bilbao 3. Bit of a surprise, this one in Bergamo, because Atalanta, going for a top 8 place, went 2-0 up in that game, but they went 1-0 up, and Athletic Bilbao scored 3 times, and then a consolation for Atalanta late in the game, but they led, went behind and couldn't get it back. So Athletic Bilbao still have hopes of making it to the knockout stage. Those hopes would have been over had they not won tonight, but they managed to do so in Italy. Bayern Munich have beaten Union Saint-Gilloise by 2-0. Harry Kane scoring both of them. on 52 minutes and on 55 from the penalty spot, and Bayern had a man sent off in the second half but saw the game out. Took Chelsea a while to break down Paphos, but they beat them by 1-0 in the end. Caicedo with that goal on 78 minutes. Juventus beat Benfica by 2-0, 2 second half goals for them. Straightforward enough for Liverpool in the south of France. They've beaten Marseille by 3-0. Dominic Szoboszlai in first half injury time, then an own goal and a second half injury time goal by Cody Gakpo for Liverpool. And Barcelona, having gone behind in Prague, ended up winning 4-2 against Slavia. Robert Lewandowski scoring in both ends in that game. So those are the other Champions League scores. In the Championship, Southampton beat Sheffield United 1-0. Watford drew 1-1 with Portsmouth, and it finished Stoke 1, Middlesbrough 2. Borough coming from behind to win. That's the Sunderland loanee Alan Brown among Middlesbrough's scorers. In the Women's League Cup, Manchester United won 1-0 at Arsenal, and Chelsea won 1-0 at Manchester City. So now you're completely up to date with all the other results, both domestically and across the Champions League. Time to have your say. 0800 234 6565, and keep the messages coming in as well. Shall I just crack on with some messages, Ando? We'll do it that way.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yep, for that, because loads of them are coming in. So John, firstly, is worried about Bruno. He went off injured. He says, I can't believe that we allowed Bruno to stay on because he was clearly in pain. Why didn't we take him off straight away? That's the only downside to a very good game. So those are John's thoughts. I mean, we don't know the extent of the injury. He wanted to come off. You could see that he was saying I needed to come off, and I think Tonali was saying to him, stay on another 2 minutes. Eddie Howe agreed and thought, take it to half time. But then there was 6 minutes of first half injury time, and so they decided to take him off. So he wasn't on for that long, was he, with the injury?
No. You hope it's just a knock. You hope it's nothing more. If it's a knock, you would think it's not too bad, but you just hope it's nothing muscle-wise.
Barry Hogan says, greatest Toon commentary. Ando tells it as it is. I'm so pleased, but shocked as well, because I thought PSV would be tough. And we kept saying it before the game, they haven't lost away from home, or they hadn't until tonight, since last March. They didn't really look like a team that's so difficult to break down when they're on their travels. No,
look, I think from minute 1 to 94, I thought we controlled the game. I thought Joe Linton in the middle of the park, his physical presence in there, they couldn't handle that at all. In fact, they couldn't handle the physical presence of us, full stop.
Yes.
They're not the biggest side in the world. They're definitely not the most physical. And like a lot of these European sides, we've seen it in Atletico when Atletico came here and Benfica came here. You were here for both of them. Neat and tidy on the ball, pass it well, move well, but no real physicality about them.
Yes.
And when you get in about them, and they can't mix it up with you.
Yes.
There wasn't a PSV player who won any individual physical battle out there at all tonight. They got pushed, they got shoved. So it was from minute 1 to 94. It was very, very comfortable.
This is damaging to their hopes of qualifying for the next stage.
Of course, you can't give the 2 goals away.
No, I mean, the first 2 goals were a little bit ridiculous defensively, weren't they? Because obviously if it stays 0-0, well, maybe Newcastle start getting a bit edgy. Maybe PSV are able to create something. But yes, they rather shot themselves in the foot, didn't they, in that first half with those goals that they gave away. Kev Owens, thank you for your message, Kev. Toon fan from Northamptonshire. Great performance from the lads, especially compared to the Wolves game. Good from Gordon, Wisser and Barnes. I do think Elanga needs more game time. Great commentary as always. It's the only place to listen, says Kev. Thank you, Kev, for your kind words. The 3 that he picks out there, Gordon, Wisser and Barnes, would you also pick them out?
Yeah, look, I thought Wisser was busy. I think
he got the player of the match.
Yeah, he did. I mean, I personally, I'd have given it to Joe Linton.
Me too.
I thought Joe Linton was tremendous when he was on. But they decided to give it to Wisser. Haven't got a problem with that at all. Gordon obviously likes the Champions League. He scored again tonight. He can't score from open play in the Premier League, but he most definitely can in the Champions League. Barnes took his goal. When he gets in those areas, you always fancy him, don't you? He picks up some great positions. 12? That's 12 for the season now, I think. So and to be fair to Elanga, when he came on, I thought he was busy. He had plenty of space to run in behind. His pace caused him all sorts of problems, and that'll do his confidence the world of good. But the texter is right. He does need more game time.
And both Gordon and Barnes are right up there in the Champions League top scorers list this season. Only Kylian Mbappe, who's miles ahead of everybody else, I think is ahead of Gordon and Barnes. Just another one behind there, the likes of Harry Kane and Osimhen and Haaland, the only ones ahead of him. So they're both doing pretty well. Let's have a chat to Steve, who is on the line now. And remember, you can call us on 0800 234 6565. Maybe you're just getting back into your car, having been at the match. We'd love to hear from you if you've got time to give us a call. It's going to be pretty slow traffic for a while, so why not get in touch with us and share your thoughts. 0800 234 6565. Maybe you've been listening to our commentary, maybe you were watching on telly, and now you've tuned in order to hear a bit of reaction. We'd love to hear from you. Steve, good evening.
Evening. I've been listening and watching, sir.
Good man. You've ticked 2 boxes.
I've had 32-1, 3-0 with Wisa to score first. Kenna.
Very nice.
32-1. That's a curious price.
Yeah, very nice.
33, don't you? But anyway, well done.
But the bloke I want to mention tonight is someone. If it's a good game, you don't usually notice him, and that's the ref.
Mm-hmm.
You know yourself, John.
Okay.
In European games, referees are called and whistle happy. This bloke tonight, he let a lot of things go. Look at what he did with the VAR decision. Went to the screen, looked at it, turned away. No, it was right. Wisa was trying to run back on. Well, he did run back onside. He wasn't obstructing the keeper, and Wisa claimed for a penalty in the second half. Didn't give it, and to me, it wasn't a penalty. I thought, the referee, he had to do very little during that game. He let a lot of tackles out which would be let go in the Premier League. So well done to him. But the rest of the game, that was a lot better than the snooze fest on Sunday.
Yeah, well, to be fair to PSV, they didn't come and play that low block, did they? They didn't sit in and defend so deep and say, come and break us down if you can. That's exactly what Wolves did. PSV tried to get bodies forward when they could. It was very open, very stretched, which suited us down to the ground, to be fair. And as far as the ref goes, I thought the ref was good tonight. I thought he reffed the game sensibly. He made his decisions and he stuck by them. But it was a comfortable win on the night, Steve. From minute 1 to the final whistle, we just bossed it all night long.
Steve, just to clear it up, because we didn't get any replays here, and people who are listening that have been at the match might have been a little bit confused as to why the referee was sent to the screen. So it was because Wisa was in an offside position earlier in the move?
Yeah, he was, but it was only just until the tackle was made. It was a poor back pass the keeper made out. And it was as that tackle was being made, Wisa noticed it was about to be made, and he ran. He was just jogging at first, but then he ran to get back onside, and he was onside before the ball was played forward. But what one of the commentators said on the telly was, could he have been obstructing the keeper's view? And that's why it was sent to the screen. It was only a precautionary measure, VAR being VAR, what it is, I've got to dot I's and cross T's. It seems strange that he was sent to the screen. That sounds like something that VAR could have just ruled out.
Well, they do it differently in Europe as well.
I guess. But fair play to the referee. He was quick and decisive, wasn't he? Made his decision.
And one of the things the commentator said just after the ref made his decision was, well done, he stuck up for himself. But the commentator also said, as soon as he made that sign they make, the square, the fingers, the rest make that are going to the screen. The PSV started cheering because they automatically thought, go to the screen, it's going to be chalked off. It wasn't.
That's what we're used to. That's what we're used to, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Steve, thank you.
Cheers.
All the best, lads. Thanks for the commentary.
Cheers, Steve. All the best, mate.
Thank
Take it
you
easy.
for your call as well, Steve. The referee getting a bit of praise, Daniel Siebert, and the VAR official. It's called Bastian Dankert, which sounds like a bit of an insult, doesn't it?
Good luck with that one. Yeah.
You're a Bastian Dankert, Ando.
Thanks very much.
You've been called worse.
I have
probably
been called an awful lot worse. Don't worry about that.
We've got another Steve on the line now. Evening, Steve.
Hello, lads. All right.
Hey, Steve.
All good, Steve. Yes. How are you doing? Have you been at the match?
Yeah, been tonight. I just wanted to talk about the two Lewises, Lewis Hall and Lewis Miley, because brilliant from start to finish. I know Lewis Miley obviously come on for Bruno when he picked up his knock, but he grew into that game, and then Trippier gave Miley the captaincy obviously at the end. But honestly, the pair of them, they're the future of us, because they were absolutely outstanding tonight for such young players. Unbelievable from start to finish.
Yeah, Hall's getting better game by game. You can see the belief and the confidence that he's playing with.
So good on the ball, isn't he? He glides with it.
Yeah, and young Miley, I thought, was so unlucky to be left out of the starting 11 tonight. In fact, I thought he was unlucky to be left out at Wolves at the weekend. But in saying that, you can understand it to a degree. He's still 19 years of age. He's been asked to play in different positions. But you're right, when he came on tonight, he went into midfield and he cruised through the game. And then they took Trippy off, put him at right back, and not a problem to him at all. You know,
took the captain's armband as well. He got a big cheer for taking that, didn't he?
He's most definitely a player who's got a huge future, and you'd be amazed if young Hall doesn't go to the World Cup with England. If he keeps improving the way that he's going and gets better game by game throughout this season, he most definitely will go to the World Cup with England, won't he?
Totally.
Still there, Steve?
He's the only left back. Yeah, he's the only left back that you think in the country who plays that position inside out every week. But I just thought, again, like you say, like Miley, 19 years old, and he's asked to play midfield, he's asked to play centre back, he's asked to play right back, and then for Trippier to go and hand him the armband above more senior players or older players on the pitch, like Botman, who was still in there. Malik Chow at centre-back who's played in Champions League before, for him to run straight to Lewis Miley and give that 19-year-old lad, 19, the captain's armband and say, on you go, son, for the last 10, 15 minutes. They obviously have a lot of faith in him as teammates as well, and I just think that speaks volumes of how good a player he is.
Without a doubt, look, as I said to you earlier, you know, he's most definitely a boy with a big future. Where his best position is, I do not know. You know, he came into the side as a midfielder. He's gone to right back and he's been exceptional. He's gone to centre back, and you know, I mentioned this to you, Pridey, that I think he could grow into a right-sided centre back. You know, he's got the physique, he's got the height. He reads the game well. He's good on the ball, but he looks like one of these players, Steve, that, you know, if you ask him to play anywhere on the pitch, he'd just go and do it, you know, and take to it like a duck to water. Nothing seems to be a problem to the boy. He's got bags and bags of talent. There's no doubt about it.
Steve, are they going to be able to make it into the top 8 then? I mean, they probably needs to win in Paris.
Top 8, I'm not sure. I think you can go to Paris and maybe get a draw. That's the best you can hope for. So the champions of the Champions League, aren't they? So look at it.
Yes.
I don't think nobody would have said that we would have got top 8.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Still possible.
It's still possible, yeah.
You take playoff and you go from there. Do you know what I
that's
mean?
confirmed now. That's confirmed.
Yeah.
Steve, great points. Thank you very much
Cheers,
indeed.
Steve. Take it easy. Safe home.
Getting in touch tonight. And good to hear from you. Let me do some of the messages that have come in. This one is from... Who's it from? Hang on a minute. Scroll down. Gareth. Delighted with the win. Huge thanks to Razor, Ando. Oh, and to me as well. I don't usually get thanked, do I, Ando? Well, Gareth thanked me. How in the green hell was the PSV side unbeaten away for the best part of the year? It's no wonder I can't win a bet, says Gareth. Thank you, Gareth. No, it was a bit bamboozling, wasn't it? Because we talked about them pre-match. We spoke to a Dutch journalist, and he explained how they would set up. And
you would have thought defensively they would have been sound. But then you see the two mistakes that they made for the opening 2 goals, and you think, dear oh dear, it was. But it probably wouldn't have made any difference, because the way the game went, they just got bullied all over the pitch. As they were second best everything all night. We won it convincingly and deserved to win it convincingly. We were the better side on the night by a long way.
Brian is in Gates. Good evening, Brian. Hi, Simon. It's great to progress, but I'm wary of being embarrassed. I also worry about picking up more injuries and it affecting our Premier League chances of qualifying for the Champions League next season. The club have now earned more than £20 million, so the owners should be happy because it's a lot more than last season. So it is still progress, says Brian. Morris is in Rothbury. Great result tonight. 5 games unbeaten, 2 clean sheets in a row. Look at the positives, lads. Decent atmosphere under the lights. Wisser looking sharper. Lewis Hall exceptional again. The ref was excellent too. Keep the faith from Morris in Rothbury. And Baz in the kitchen says, nice to enjoy listening to a convincing performance for a change instead of sitting on the edge of my stool. The doctor can't understand my high and low blood pressure. I have to tell him I'm a Newcastle fan eventually, says Baz. Thank you, Baz. And one more, it's from Matty, who also agrees that the ref was good. He says it was a good game. The press in the second half was way better. Alanga looked more confident as well as it went on. Only disappointing thing was Bruno asking to come off and then Howe saying wait until half time. We can't afford somebody getting more injured, says Matty in Ashington, the second person to make that point. Oh, the rain started again, Ando.
It is, yeah.
And we're still on there for
time to go home.
Well, we've got another 6 minutes, which is time for Andrew to have his say. Evening, Andrew.
Hi, Simon and John. How are you?
Hey, Andrew. Yeah, good, thanks.
What are your thoughts, Andrew?
I know the rain started. I'm standing outside Shearer's in it.
well, thanks for speaking to us then. What are your thoughts after the game?
Just before I start there, I was just hanging on the line there, and I was listening to one of the text messages you read out from Brian. Worried about being embarrassed. Embarrassed by who?
I'm not sure what he meant by that. I don't know if he feels that Newcastle in the latter stages of the tournament can get thumped by somebody, but why? I don't know why you would necessarily think like that right now after a 3-0 win and and they're in the top 8 as things stand.
Yeah, but that's kind of a mentality that Newcastle fans have got at the minute. I mean, I got on in Sporty after the Man City game, and people were coming on and giving Wissa pelters. Oh, he's rubbish. He's a waste of money. Didn't look like a waste of money the night. I thought he played really, really well.
Getting there, isn't he? He's getting there, Ando, isn't he?
Yeah, he needs game time. Yeah,
of course he does. He just needs to keep starting matches, and he's going to find his touch again. But the match itself, it was very reminiscent of the games against Bilbao and Benfica. I thought it was, I thought it was comfortable. I thought we were like the other 2 games. We were just fitter, stronger, faster, better. It's probably a reflection on the Premier League and the respective leagues of Holland and Spain as well, and Portugal.
Yeah.
Our quality is better.
Yeah, I said that. I said technically they were very good. Physically they were very weak. They got pushed and shoved. There wasn't a PSV player that won his individual battle at all tonight. They all got shoved and pushed. They couldn't handle the physicality and the pace that we played at. And I think you're right. I think it reflects the difference in the quality of the leagues. The Premier League is the top league in Europe. All you've got to do is look at there's five Premier League sides in the top 8 of the Champions League at this moment in time. I think that says it all, doesn't it?
No, absolutely. Simon, I wasn't able to listen to the show, but what did the Dutch journalist think about what he thought the match was going to play out like?
Well, we asked him for a prediction, and he said a 1-1 draw.
But he thought there'd be more goals.
But he did think there'd be goals. Yeah, he didn't think he didn't think that they would be cagey at all. I think he was expecting a bit more from PSV. Obviously, you can't really legislate for the two really bad defensive errors. But I think he was expecting probably a bit more from them in an attacking sense as well.
Yeah, he what he said was he thought PSV would get forward and they would ask questions, but they asked no questions. As I say, they didn't have the physical presence to be able to ask questions. You know, you looked at them and they were a small side as well. You know, they had no height in the side either. And of course, as Pridey just said, it doesn't help when you shoot yourself in the foot for the first 2 goals either, does it?
Andrew, thank you very much indeed.
Thanks,
Go
Simon.
back inside.
Yeah, get yourself a pint.
Yes.
Cheers, mate.
And a couple for us as well. Thanks.
All the best.
Thanks, Andrew. Let me take you through the table then. Arsenal clear at the top on 21 points, having won all of their games. Bayern Munich, who won tonight, on 18 points. These are all after 7 games, so 1 game left now for everybody. Real Madrid and Liverpool, both on 15 points. It's only Arsenal and Bayern Munich who are assured of being in the top 8 or finishing in the top 8, and therefore being in the last 16 without the need for a playoff. Real Madrid and Liverpool on 15 points, who are probably almost certainly going to be there. Spurs on 14, Paris Saint-Germain and Newcastle on 13, but they're the highest placed teams on 13 points. Chelsea also on 13, making up the 8th position in the table, and then there is another 5 teams on 13 points, so that's how tight it is. Barcelona, Sporting Lisbon, Manchester City, Atletico Madrid and Atalanta, and then Inter Milan and Juventus on 12 points. There are still others who could catch Newcastle. Borussia Dortmund on 11 points, and actually the teams below them, because of the goal difference, probably couldn't catch Newcastle. But that just shows you how many teams, if Newcastle were to draw in Paris and end up on 14 points, there are so many other teams on 13 and 12 that you would expect a couple of them to win, and therefore it wouldn't be enough to have a draw in Paris would be a good result in the face of things.
That'd be a great result, but next you need to go down and win, don't you?
Yeah, so they might as well go for it, because they know that they're going to be in the playoffs, whatever. Yeah. So they might as well have a crack at going to win.
As I said to Razor, you know, it's a winner-take-all situation. It's okay having the great goal difference, but great goal difference doesn't make any difference. Make much difference if you go there and get beat.
And there's a bit of unfinished business in Paris, isn't there?
Yeah, there's a little bit of edge about it, after what happened there the last time, so we owe them one, that's for sure.
Ando, you can go and get dry now.
Thanks very much, very kind of you.
No problem at all. Yeah, the rain has started again. The wind is still swirling around and blowing it into us here in the press box at St James's Park. The pitch is now empty. All the players have finished doing their warm downs. The action is over for the evening, and a very satisfactory night's action it was too. Hope you enjoyed it.
A flat clearance, Bruno's onto it and through for Joelinton to run onto. Joelinton squares it, Wissa scores! Johan Wissa, first Champions League start, and he marks it with what could be a crucial goal in Newcastle's quest to reach the knockout stage. PSV gave it away, Joelinton took it on into the box and unselfishly squared for Wissa, who has his 3rd goal in black and white. And in the 8th minute, it's Newcastle United 1, PSV Eindhoven 0. Or short back pass and a touch to Wissa that finds Anthony Gordon, and they've doubled their lead. And it's another mistake at the back by PSV that lets Newcastle United in. This time Wissa was the provider, profiting from a heavy touch, a poor touch, as they tried to roll it back to the keeper. And Wissa got onto it in the box and squared it for Gordon, who has his 6th Champions League goal. Newcastle United 2, PSV Eindhoven 0. Barnes edge of the area, into the box. Harvey Barnes does what Harvey Barnes does. Another goal for Newcastle's leading scorer this season. His 5th in the Champions League, his 12th in all competitions. It just dropped for him on the edge of the area, and he took it on, and with his left drilled it into the bottom corner. That's classic Harvey Barnes, and it's shaping up to be another huge Champions League win for Newcastle United. With 65 minutes on the clock, they're heading to the Champions League knockout phase. Newcastle United 3, PSV Eindhoven 0.